Hello, hi there. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. My name is Michael. I'm one of the business advisors that work here at Wenta. This is just a quick overview of the webinar that we host, how to set up your small business. So welcome. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through a quick overview here of what we cover in this webinar. So first of all, when we first start the webinar, what we do is we do a bit of housekeeping. Okay, we state that this is a CPD certified webinar and just set the general tone for the webinar. For example, how long it sort of takes. So this particular webinar is about 2 hours long. We aim for the on a 45-minute, 50-minute mark, a quick 10-minute, a quick 15-minute sort of break. Then we come back and finish off the second part of the webinar there. Okay. So as we do the housekeeping, as we state that this is a CPD certified webinar, and setting the sort of the general tone. For example, any questions, any queries, please use the chat box. We talk a bit about virtual offices and registered address. Okay, really useful for any sort of limited companies out there want to keep their home address sort of private. We state that we have a service, a virtual office that you can. It's a paid subscription fee. You can use that service instead of using your home address for a limited company. We also do some quick introductions. Okay, we do quick introductions to ourselves, the host of the webinar, and to Wenta as a whole. So you get a feel for who's hosting and about what is Wenta all about. So after we've done the initial welcomes and sort of intros, we go into part one of the webinar. We'll talk about the practical elements of the webinar, okay, and how to set up a small business. So as this is a CPD certified webinar, we do state there are some learning objectives. Okay, so hopefully by the end of the webinar, once you've sort of sat through it, you would have met these learning objectives. Okay, we also set out what the topics that we're going to be covering during the webinar as a whole. So some of the first subjects that we cover are the pros and cons of being self-employed. Okay, so we talk about the pros and cons because some people go into this and they're not aware of what's involved in it. So we're just going to try to sort of prep them for it. Okay, so when the situation does come along, you start to set up your own sort of business. Okay, you're not suddenly taken back by sort of certain things, certain elements of your business proposal. We also talk about the skills and qualities needed in order to set up your business, to launch a business, to run it sort of successfully. By no means are we expecting everybody to hit those skill sets, to hit those qualities. It is a learning curve. Okay, you will learn better ways of doing things. You will learn how not to sort of do things. A lot of it's on the job sort of training, I would say. So in the first part of the webinar, what we do is we concentrate on the business structures, sole trader, stroke partnership, and limited companies. So with regards to sole trader and limited company, first of all, we discuss what it involves, what it's all about. Again, just some pros and cons, a general overview. Okay, we'll give a quick example of the sole trader and partnership business structure. And we do the same thing for the limited company business structure as well. What it is, what it involves, the pros and cons of it. Okay, give a quick example of it and how it differs compared to the sole trader and partnership organization. There is no right or wrong. Okay, it all what it suits you. Okay, we provide you with that bit of guidance. It's down to you to go out and sort of do that research at the end of the day. Okay, and we'll give you an opportunity to ask any questions, ask any queries using the chat box during the webinar. If it catches the host's eye, nice, quick, simple, easy question, we can answer it within the webinar. Anything a bit more sort of in depth, instead of sort of slowing down the webinar, we strongly advise that you book in a free session with our business advisors there. So that is what we sort of cover in the first part of our webinar, how to set up a small business, how to start a small business. So here is just some samples of examples of some of the slides within the webinar that we host. So for example, sole trader and stroke partnership. Okay, this is a slide that we actually use. Okay, so I'm not going to go into it in any sort of great detail, but these are the points that we address. Okay, we address each point, we discuss sort of each point. Again, given the pros and cons of this sole trader partnership business structure, and what you've got to look out for, providing you that bit of sort of guidance. Okay, so we'll not just talk about sole trader and partnerships. Okay, we offer you some links where to go if you want to register as a sole trader. Okay, we talk about what's involved in registering as a sort of sole trader there. Okay, and again, we'll just talk a bit more sort of around it, give you that sort of bit more reassurance. Okay, so again, staying with the sole trader and partnerships, staying with the examples of the slides there, we talk about the deadlines, okay, surrounding self-assessment tax returns, payment for your income tax, and for example, okay, the UK sort of tax year, and talk a bit about, you know, your business trading might start before or after the sort of tax year, and again, just give you a bit of reassurances about what's some of the deadlines that you need to adhere to, and we'll go into a lot more sort of detail. Yeah. This is the limited company slide that we talk about, again, addressing each point, okay, going through each point, giving an example, discussing the pros and cons and how it differs compared to the sole trader and partnership business and structure. Okay, so allowing you to decide for yourself, you know, which way you're leaning more towards. It will require you to go out and do a bit more sort of market research, just to be sure that you are going for the right business structure. Okay, so again, we don't just talk about it, we offer you some links, okay, where to go if you do want to register as a limited company. Okay, if you need to choose a name, what's the sort of process, what you sort of got to look out for. Okay, and there is that point there, choose a registered address. That is why we talk about the virtual office and the registered address at the beginning of the webinar there. Okay, so that sort of concludes the first part of that particular webinar, how to set up a small business. Again, generally it is it's 45 minutes, 50 minutes, then you take a short sort of 10-minute break, short 15-minute break, just give us a chance to sort of go for a cup of tea, go for a cup of coffee, stretch our legs, go for a little toilet break, and then we come back, and these are the points that we address in the second part of the webinar. Okay, we talk about operations for your business, we talk about marketing, okay, choosing the business name, insurance, business account, legal aspects, and domain names. So for example, these are just sort of subheadings. As we go into headings, for example, operations, we talk about other aspects of your business. Okay, have you taken into consideration the logistics of your business, software for your business, tools, processes, terms and conditions? We cover all of those sort of aspects within that sort of one heading. And we pay particular attention to marketing, because that is very, very important. Okay, you might have a great product, you might have a great sort of service there, but okay, if you're not marketing your business well, if you're not letting your potential clients and customers know, okay, that you are out there, that you're operating, okay, that you have a product, a service to offer to your clients and customers, they're never going to find out about you. So no matter how great your business is, again, they're never going to buy anything off you. Okay, so we focus a bit more about marketing. We talk about choosing a business name, if you're a sole trader, if you're a partnership, if you're a limited company, what to look out for. We talk about the insurance policies out there, or aspects of an insurance policy. We talk about opening up a business account if you're a sole trader, if you're a limited company, if again, just a difference between those business structures. We talk about the legal aspects of your business. By no means are we legal professions. Okay, we provide you a few links for where to sort of go out, get started. Really stress the point, it is down to you, okay, the individual, to go out and make sure that you are abiding by all the legal aspects of your business industry. And we also talk about domain names a little bit. Okay, this is if you want to create a website for your business. Okay, again, what to take into consideration, what you got to look out for. Okay, other things that we cover in the second part of this webinar is trademarks. Okay, what is involved, how much it costs, where to go to get trademarks. Okay, we also talk about invoices. We give an example of an invoice, what information should be on it, how it should be laid out, and where you can go to get sort of templates then. We also stress the importance of bookkeeping, discuss a bit more around that. We talk about VAT registration, about the threshold, when to sort of register, again, what to take into consideration. And we also have a little slide in there called raising finance. More than likely, you will need some type of finance in order to set up your business, unless it's coming out through savings, unless you're borrowing from friends and family. Okay, you will need to go with some sort of loan facility, maybe, okay, grant, competitions, crowdfunding. Okay, we discuss all those sort of options for yourself. Okay, then we round up with the webinar, just do some final checks. Okay, crossing your T's, dotting all your I's, making sure that you've taken everything into sort of consideration. Okay, so again, we talk about all these aspects within this webinar, how to set up or how to start a small business. Okay, so again, just some samples, examples of some slides within the webinar. Okay, this is the insurance slide that we have within the webinar. Okay, again, going through each point, providing examples, just discussing what public liability means, what product liability means, what is key persons cover insurance mean there. Okay, I'm going into a bit more detail about that. Okay. Again, same with the legal side. This is the legal slide that we have within the webinar. We talk about GDPR, talk about licenses, and we give you some links again where to get started in your research, okay, in your information and gathering. Okay. We also talk about bookkeeping packages. Okay, we say that these are just examples; they are not recommendations. We talk a little bit about making tax digital. Okay, the government are trying to get everybody who's setting up their business, launching a business, okay, to use one of these bookkeeping packages that they have on their Making Tax Digital list. They're going to make it compulsory pretty soon, I think next year, or definitely within the next sort of 2 years. If you are VAT registered already, you have to be using one of these bookkeeping packages as listed under Making Tax Digital. So please do go out and have a look at that list there. Okay, see which one that you could possibly work with. Okay, there is no right or wrong. Okay, so this is the finance slide. Okay, so again, we talk about each of these points. Okay, we give you we signpost you, give you some suggestions, okay, of where to go depending on which sort of financing option that you're going for. Okay, and then afterwards we sort of round up everything. Okay, we summarize what we've sort of covered in the webinar. We provide you with some contact details. We give you an opportunity to provide feedback. Okay, and we give you an opportunity to ask any questions, any queries, most likely through the chat box there. So that's pretty much what the how to set up your small business actually sort of involves there. Obviously, this is a quick sort of run through, just an overview of what to expect, what are the topics that we provide. And if you are interested, please do attend that webinar. We go into a lot more detail, like I said. So as with this webinar, how to set up a small business, with all our webinars really, it's just a bit of startup information about yourself, about the subject area. Okay, bit of a confidence building exercise for yourself as well. Okay, giving you the confidence, providing those tools, those links, those templates, that signposting, okay, allowing you to go out, do your own research, tackle it, and just seeing how it goes. Okay, it's all about sort of getting started, but it is down to the individual there. Okay, so again, that sort of rounds up on the webinar on how to set up a small business, how to launch a small business. We do advise as well, if you have any questions, any queries during the webinar, if needed, you can book a free session with one of our business advisors. You can do it online, you can give the main office a call as well, and you can arrange to speak to myself or any other business advisor there. Okay, so thank you everybody.